Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from July 15th to the 21st, and I'm using this Scribble Prints Co kit. I think it's called Amusement Park. I've used this kit in the past, and I'm using it again mainly because I accidentally bought two. I don't know how I did that, but accidents happen, especially when you're someone like me, and when you decide you want something, you just like rush through it. So I don't know. I try to be careful, but obviously I wasn't. But it ended up being okay because this was a really good kit for this week. And I didn't have time to print and cut anything anyway. So the fact that I just had this full physical kit was really nice. As far as what happened this week, oh man, quite a few things happened. The main things were that it was my boyfriend's birthday on Saturday, and we had like a dinner and stuff for him, and then he and I went to Wildwood, if you guys know where that is in New Jersey, we were invited, but semi-crash his best friend's wife's family reunion. So yeah, it was quite a lot this week. It's been a minute, and I've also already filled in other spreads, so I might get confused. I don't remember everything that happened this week. I'm going to try. I'll probably remember as I go. But something else that I do know that happened this week, and this is just one of my huge issues with myself. I really hate it about myself, and I have been working on it. It isn't going well. I don't know what to do, but I very much struggle with being jealous. I'm a very, very, very jealous, envious person. I really try not to be. It's very specific. I'm not jealous and envious of everybody, but certain people I am, if that makes sense. I'm not even talking about like influencers. I'm talking usually people who are in my life. It's hard for me to watch people in my life succeed when I can't. It makes me think like, what am I even doing? Like, why am I such a failure? And I'm sure I've talked about it before, but my best friend has been in grad school, and she's also my roommate. It's been a whole thing. She's been out of work this whole time, and just focusing on school, whatever. And this week she got a job offer for like a real like big girl job. And this is so embarrassing, but I'm just gonna be honest because maybe one person at least can relate. But I was at my office when she told me, and I instantly started just crying. Luckily, I was able to be silent, and I have my own office, so it's not like anybody saw, but I started crying because I hate my job so much. I don't make enough money. I can't seem to get myself like out of my situation, and I just keep going in circles about how much I hate my life. And hearing her get this really good job, just like it made me think like, should I just go jump off a bridge? And it's also one of those things where like she and I have sort of been, I don't want to say losers, but like neither one of us has ever been very successful in life. And it's sort of like comforting to have somebody else who is also just like flailing around. But when that person gets their shit together and, you know, it puts into perspective how awful I'm doing. You know what I mean? So like when she told me about this job, I had a full blown meltdown, anxiety attack. Like I'm like, okay, I'm officially not saying she's a loser, but like in my head, I was like, I am officially the only loser left that I know. Like everybody else I know is doing better than me. I am the biggest loser. I'm pathetic. I just suck. I don't deserve to live. Like it was just this whole thing because I genuinely don't know anybody in my real life. And I'm sure some people are lying to me. You know, maybe I'm crazy, but I can't think of anybody else who's doing worse than me right now. Now, since then, I do know one person who is doing worse than me, and I actually feel really bad for her. But the thing is, she's a new friend, and new friends don't really count. When I make new friends, yes, they're all more successful than me and more adult than me, and it does make me feel bad about myself, but I'm not necessarily jealous. But because this was my best friend, we've been together forever. It's just hard for me to watch her better herself while I still suck, if that makes sense. And if you're curious to know what this fabulous job is, I wouldn't even want this job, but I am still jealous. She is going to be a student counselor, and it pays very, very well. She's going to be making much more than I am, which instantly jealous right there. And then also she will have summers off. Very, very jealous, very jealous. Since then, I've come to terms with it, and I've even been able to almost be happy for her, but it's been a struggle because I just hate myself so much. So anyway, that was like a really big thing that happened this week. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a terrible person. I know jealousy is like a normal feeling, but I can't imagine anybody being as jealous as I am. It's disgusting. I hate it about myself. I try to work on it every single day. I've stopped really going on my personal Instagram. I really just stick to my planner Instagram because it's painful to see all the people in my life doing so well. And I know that social media is not real, but it still gives me the same feeling just to know that they're doing so well. And I was actually talking to a friend about this like maybe even a year ago, but he was in a really bad place and he completely got off social media for like months. I think it was like 6 months he didn't go on social media, and he felt a lot better. So I only go on my personal Instagram to post my cat like once a month, once a week maybe, and check my messages, and that's it. I don't even look at anything. Anyway, I went on about that forever. Clearly you can see what was the biggest, to me this week, what had the biggest impact. But yeah, I don't know. This was a weird week, but I'm just gonna get into it, I guess. We'll see. I know I'm forgetting things. I also feel a little weird just throwing this in at the end, but my boyfriend's aunt did pass away the day before his birthday, which was, not amazing. I only met her a couple times. I hadn't seen her in years, so it's just like more sad. It was sad for him. Didn't really affect me, but to have your aunt die like basically on your birthday is not amazing. But anyway, I think that's it. So I'm just going to get into the day by day, starting with Monday. The first thing I marked was that I went home to work remotely. And I used a Once More with Love munchkin in bed on a laptop. Then with this sad emoji, I marked that I was just too tired to function. I don't know. I've been very tired lately. I felt like the vitamins I have been taking were helping, but I was just very tired this day. Then on my break, I walked on the treadmill and got 6,000 steps. I was trying to do 10,000 steps a day, but I'm happy with 6,000 because it's still about like 5,000 more than I would normally get on a Monday. Then with this emoji wearing glasses, I marked that Joe stopped by. I can't remember why, but he did. Then with this donut from Sticky Perks, I believe, I marked that I snacked too much. I keep going into phases where I'm doing really well with not snacking too much, and then I'm just like completely off the rails. Then with this camera, I can't remember where it's from, but if you'd like to know, I'll find out. I've had this sticker like forever since, before Shopify shops. I marked that I planned. Then with this mosquito munchkin, I marked that there was a house centipede or silverfish. I never know which is which, in my bedroom, and it ran behind my bed. And I am not strong enough to move my bed, so it was like a whole thing because I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep knowing that it was behind my headboard. I managed to get like Lysol spray and spray in the crack and like kill it that way. And then I used a tissue on the end of a broomstick to like scrape its guts out. It was a whole thing, but I did get it, so I was able to sleep. Then with this Sex and the City TV from Sticky Perks, I marked that I watched Sex and the City. And that was it for Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, again, I felt exhausted and I used another one of these sad emojis to mark that. With this to-do list, I think this is a Once More with Love sticker, I marked that I worked remote again this day because I had a hair appointment. With this shut up munchkin, I just marked that I was trying not to rage quit this day. Work was particularly obnoxious. Again, I can't remember why, but I'm actually currently having one of those days today, not gonna lie. I'm currently filming this or recording this on my break. Then with this Pumpkin Paper Co. Tara in rollers and a haircut sticker also from Pumpkin Paper Co. I marked that I went to my haircut at 2 p.m. Then with this edit emoji, I marked that I did a voiceover. With this like handyman munchkin, I marked that Joe came this night to fix a bunch of stuff because we were having people at my place for his birthday because my apartment's bigger, and I just wasn't comfortable with people coming over with certain things. Like if you guys remember when my toilet broke and my landlord hired this plumber to like replace the parts and stuff, it's never worked very well since, and I just wasn't comfortable having a bunch of people over who didn't know that there was like a trick to flushing the toilet, you know. I just like, so anyway, he came over, he fixed my soap dispenser, he like took apart my kitchen sink and deep cleaned it. And he fixed the toilet. Unfortunately, the fix only lasted about like 2 weeks. It's broken again. And it's honestly like just as bad as it was before the plumber replaced the parts. So I don't know. They just did a shitty job. I'm not sure. But it works enough to where I don't feel like dealing with having another person in my apartment. So we're just dealing with it. But I marked him fixing the toilet with this Paper Shire sticker. And then with an insomnia emoji, I marked that I couldn't sleep. This was partially due to the fact that the glue he used to fix my soap dispenser was incredibly strong, and it was like making me feel kind of sick. He's used to it, so he couldn't even smell it, but I was in my bedroom and the smell was so strong that it actually woke me up. Then moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked was that I weighed myself, and I used a Tara for that. With this sticker, this is just leftover from a kit, I'm not sure which. I marked that I had to go to the office this day. Then with this Fox and Cactus Girl having a meltdown, I marked that this is when I found out that my best friend got a job, and I just was like so defeated. Then with this emoji crying, I marked that I cried at work. And also, I haven't been crying a lot since I started my antidepressants. Like sometimes I physically can't cry. I cried. So that must tell you something. Then I accidentally left this add to cart sticker. Maybe I'll black that out. I meant to cut that part off, but I was using this as like me frantically looking at jobs on LinkedIn. I didn't apply to anything because I was at work on my phone, but I just like got so sick to my stomach. I was like, I have to do something, and the only thing I can really do right now is look at LinkedIn on my phone. Then with this Trader Joe's emoji, I marked that, munchkin, I marked that I went to Trader Joe's after work. With this melting munchkin, I marked that it was so hot out that I was feeling woozy. And I had already been walking home from work in the heat, but this day I like felt really faint by the time I got to my apartment, and I almost fell over, but I was fine. Then with another Sex and the City TV, I marked that I finished my rewatch. With this SPC sticker, I marked that I print and cut a kit. Then with this reading sticker, I'm not sure where it's from, I marked that I read. With a munchkin watching TV, I marked that I watched Gone Girl. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that I read at the office just because, like, why not? And I used this Paper Shire flat lay to mark that. Then with this this is like a bad day munchkin, I marked that I was having really, really, really bad anxiety. Then with this emoji working on the couch, I marked that I just laid around and like didn't really do anything when I first got home. Then with this emoji baking, I marked that I baked Joe's birthday cake. He actually decorated it this year. I kind of feel bad that I didn't do it, but he wanted something like specific and I didn't get it, his vision. Then with these glasses from, I think, Piper Paper Company, I marked that Joe came over to help clean the apartment because his party was the next day. And the majority of it was cleaning like the kitchen and organizing the fridge and stuff. So I marked tidy the kitchen with this planting roses sticker. Then the final thing for Thursday with the Sticky Perks alarm clock was that we were not done cleaning until after midnight. Then moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that this was my short remote day, and I used another munchkin in bed working. With this munchkin with a vacuum, I marked that I vacuumed my entire apartment. I just saw no reason to vacuum on Thursday, and then the cats would be running around all night getting hair everywhere, so I did an intense vacuum. Then with this Fight Me munchkin, I marked that I was angry. I can't remember why. I don't know, but I was angry. With this Carly Plans suitcase sticker, I marked that I got ready and packed super fast so that I could go to Joe's apartment later that night. Then with this Stick with a Plan Co sticker, I marked that we went to this place called Devil's Alley for his birthday dinner. He has a lot of friends. I think it was 11 of us total, and they were able to have a big reservation like that. So, and it was good. It's a good price, good place. So that was nice. Then after that, normally a bunch of people are at my apartment. At last year and the year before that was really overwhelming, hence all of the cleaning and stuff, but only besides my roommate, me, and Joe, only 3 other people came, so there were only 6 of us total. So he was a little bummed about that because it's kind of sad that nobody came, but it was fine. We all just played Codenames, which is Joe's favorite game and probably mine too. Then with this leftover icon, I think from Caress Press, I marked that we ate cake. And then the final thing with these Sticky Perks pillows was that I went to bed at 4:30 in the morning. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was this was Joe's actual birthday, and I used a party munchkin head for that. With a Red Bull emoji, I marked that I had my Red Bull. And then he said what he wanted for his birthday was for me to ride the bike that he got me for my birthday. Because I just learned how to ride a bike last summer, and I am absolutely petrified to ride a bike around Philadelphia. I feel like I'm going to get hit or die, or the roads and the sidewalks are very uneven and fucked up and have a lot of potholes and shit. So I have not been riding my bike because I don't want to ride it here. I will ride it in a suburban neighborhood, you know what I mean? But it's his birthday, so I rode it in this parking lot in his right across from his apartment. Then when we got back, he unfortunately got the confirmation that his aunt had passed away the day before. Kind of a bummer for his family to reach out to him on his birthday to let him know. But I mean, I guess they didn't want to wait. So I used a tombstone Once More with Love sticker for that. And he still wanted to go to Wildwood. He figured that would probably keep his mind off of it. He didn't just want to stay home and weep, So we did still go to Wildwood, and I used this car emoji Once More with Love sticker. Then with this pizza munchkin, I marked that we had pizza with everybody when we got there. And then he and I were feeling pretty restless because everybody in the house we were staying at, they all have children and they go to bed early. And they just kind of wanted to sit in the living room and hang out. So I used an UGG munchkin for that because he and I were just itching to do something or go somewhere. Then with this Ferris wheel sticker from Once More with Love, I marked that we walked onto the boardwalk, which was literally 2 blocks away. So we didn't get anything because we went super, super late, but whatever, it was a way to get out. And then the last thing on Saturday, I marked with an @ symbol that I've just had from who knows where. And we went to bed at 2:30 in the morning. Then finally moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that I had my Red Bull and just relaxed and looked at my phone for a little bit. Then when Joe got up, we made our way to the beach, and I used both this beach day sticker from I can't remember where. This again is one of the original planner stickers I bought because I used to go to the beach much more often than I do now. And I used a pumpkin paper coterra with that. Just, I couldn't decide which one I wanted to use. Then with this emoji making a sandcastle, I just I'm not going to get into it, but oh my God, the children. Let me just say, I will say one thing. This child would not listen to his mother for the life of him, and he would not stop flinging sand on everybody for about 10 minutes. And the second he flung it at me, I told him to stop or I would take his shovel away. He instantly dropped his shovel and stopped and started crying. And then he was fine. And then he went away and stopped throwing sand on everybody. I'm sorry. I cannot stand when parents have empty threats. You can't tell your kid that you're going to take his shovel away if he doesn't stop and then let him continue for 10 minutes. He doesn't believe you, but he will believe me because I will actually take it away. I didn't have to though. I just used a stern voice and he was like, oh shit, this lady's serious. So he stopped. Then I marked that I got a sunburn, and this is completely my fault, and I sort of assumed I was going to get a sunburn. I know that sounds ridiculous. I was under a tent, so my sunburn was very uneven. Just as the sun was moving, part of my leg was in the sun, my chest was in the sun. I did use sunscreen on my face. I always use sunscreen on my face. That's non-negotiable, but I was just so mentally exhausted and just could not care less, and I bought new sunscreen this year. I brought it with me. But the thought of going through the motions of putting sunscreen on was too much for me. I know that's stupid. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's just where I was mentally. So I made the conscious decision not to put sunscreen on. And I got a sunburn. It's what I deserve. And I will not do it again because I'm scared of skin cancer. And now I have this awful tan line because usually actually pretty much every time I've ever had a sunburn in my life, it turns into a tan. And the tan lines are awful. They look so bad. Because again, it was uneven because I was trying to hide under the tent. So definitely my fault. And I deserved it. But I just couldn't. Then with this GP Studio sticker, I marked that I ended up walking 10,000 steps this day, which was nice. With this Do Not Disturb Munchkin, I marked that I had to go upstairs and take a nap after being in the sun all day. The kids really wanted both Joe and me to go swimming in the pool, but I could not. I needed a break, and I needed to be alone, and I needed to sleep. So I think Joe went swimming for a little while, but I just slept. Then for dinner, we had burgers and hot dogs, and I used a barbecue emoji for that. With an ice cream emoji, I marked that Joe and I walked to the boardwalk to get ice cream for, his birthday. Then with this car icon, again, no idea where it's from, I marked that we drove home. And then the final thing on Sunday that I marked was that there was one of those human centipede things crawling at his place, not my place, crawling on Joe's leg in the bed under the covers. Luckily, he found it and killed it, and I'm so happy it wasn't on my leg. But that was disgusting. Lovely way to end his birthday weekend, and I used another mosquito munchkin for that. So anyway, that's everything for this week. Definitely just a weird week. I was in a weird mood, obviously. I promise I'm working on it. It's just really, really hard. But anyway, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.